Hello all, it's been a long time, hasn't it? I believe this is my first update video that I've done on the channel, and it's been long overdue that I do something like this, and well, here I am. It's been a couple months, and it's time for me to talk about what's been going on in my personal life and in my professional life, and I want to focus mostly on the YouTube channel because that's why I'm making this video, is for you guys, my subscribers. I only have 24 subscribers, but to be honest, that's more than enough for me to keep this thing going. And I know most of you are at least legitimate. The rest, there could be a few bots in here, but I'd like to think that most of you are legitimate subscribers watching my content. I also know that I have people from WordPress and from Google Plus that are also watching this, so I want to say first, thank you for subscribing, thank you for watching, and most of all, thank you for sharing. I don't quite know how many people are sharing, but I get a good idea every now and again. In the background, the game I am playing is Skyward Collapse. It's by Arkham Games, who also did Shattered Haven. It's a 2D godlike game where you basically have two factions fight against each other. I've heard it described before as playing chess against yourself, and I think that's actually the best way of putting it. It's playing chess against yourself. It's a game that I had intended on sort of covering in a different series on the channel, but that series was put on hiatus for reasons I will go into later. So while I am jibber-jabbering, you at least have something to watch. I don't finish this game because these games are incredibly long, and that game goes interesting places, as you might be able to figure out. So let's get on with why I am making this video. So, I don't remember if I made it official on the channel that my father had passed away in January of this year. And it was sudden, it was unexpected. It just came out of the blue. I had just returned to Eugene to go back to college, and I get a call while playing Darksiders of all things, and I headed straight back home the next day. So I've been dealing with the after effects of that from January, and in winter term, when I got back to school, I basically had just everything come crashing down. And in spring term, I sought help for what I was going through, and I also did a lot of soul searching. It was mostly to do with college, but it also had a lot to do with the blog and the channel and everything else I do. I wanted to look at myself and decide, what am I doing and why? And when I got down to it, I was happy with my life except for one major thing. I hated college. I hated college. I wanted nothing to do with college. I loved my job. I loved the people I was around with, or at least I loved the social environment that I was in, I should say. But I hated college, and it got to the point that it was just stressing me out, and it was causing me a lot of anxiety and a lot of stress. I think I said stress a couple times now, and I wanted enough. And there's the Steam thing in the background. Now you know it's not edited. So when I got to the end of spring term, I decided that I was just gonna quit college, if not permanently, then for at least a year or more. So I'm now unemployed because I just finished up my job. It was a student-only position, so now I'm looking for a job. And that affects the channel in a major way because, well, I can't give you a solid schedule from here on out until I get a quote-unquote permanent job. So to go into it, I'm basically not going to have a schedule for when I upload content. It's going to be when I have the time and when I feel really good about doing it. I've done videos on here in the past that have been when I didn't want to do it and the quality suffered for it. And I'm not going to do that I'm not ever going to do that. But I'm hoping eventually one day I will have a schedule for when I upload videos. I'm still going to aim for at least one video a week. We'll see if that happens, but that's my aim at this point. I want to talk about this different series I'm doing. I've always viewed this channel as sort of an experiment for me to get used to video editing, get used to different kinds of jargon, I guess, and different types of advertising I can do. I've done a lot of different implementations of the little thumbnails that you see on each video. I've done different implementations of intro videos and just kind of experimented with things to see how it kind of flowed and whether I liked it or didn't like it. So this channel will always remain as an experimental idea for me, and if I ever find a series that I'm really successful with, then I will take that and run with it. Until that time, I'm going to just have fun, and I'm going to change things, I'm going to iterate on things, and my goal is that I create enjoyable content that everyone can watch. And whether that's Let's Plays, or first impressions, or reviews, I don't know in the long term. In the short term, I'm just going to do what I can, and what I enjoy doing. And I'm always going to push myself to do something different, something new, every once in a while, at the very least. That's also caused me to have a lot of struggles with what I want to publish on here. Do I want to just do straight Let's Plays, run through the game, have a few quote-unquote silly voices and just call it a day, or do I want to do more edited content? Do I want to do something else entirely? That's been a struggle, and the one thing I didn't want to do is let the game do all of the work for me. I wanted it to be an equal and balanced partnership between me and the game. And I've had this question about, well, am I keeping that balance, or am I letting the game basically push me ahead? And so, to go further into that, I'm going to talk about the different series I run. So the first one I want to talk about is Cthulhu Saves the World. Cthulhu Saves the World was something I had planned on doing when I started the channel, but I started with Breath of Death first so I could lead into Cthulhu. And I'm finding that might not have been the best choice for a new series, because I'm finding a very major problem with doing it. I don't know what to say during battles. I recorded footage after the latest episode of Cthulhu, and frankly, I sounded bored. And granted, I could call it a lot of the stresses going on at the time that I didn't know what I wanted to do with it, but I genuinely sounded bored. I tried again later, not recording myself, just trying to do it casually and on my own, and I still ran into the problem that Cthulhu's battle system does not lead to very good commentary. It's not a bad one, it's just that for the most part I'm saying Cthulhu attacks, she attacks, they attack, they die, and etc. and so forth. There's not enough variance or depth to it to really comment on, and it was something I noticed in the previous series with Breath of Death that was becoming a problem, especially towards the end, because there's a lot of repeat battles, and I'm running into the same problem now. I'm running into a lot of repeat battles, which makes it even harder. So, I almost came to the conclusion that I should just cancel it, but I'm willing to try one more experiment idea, which is to continue pushing the story of Cthulhu to its conclusion for a couple more episodes and see how people react to it, and see whether people have any interest in it. If there isn't, then I will probably call the series done and gone. My idea is that I'm going to edit a lot of the combat out. I didn't want to do this with Cthulhu, but at this point I figure it really can't hurt to see how that sort of flows out, because I want the videos to have balance between me and the game, as I mentioned earlier. So I figure with me voicing them and doing more attention and work focused on voicing them, that it will turn out alright. If not, then I'll just call it good and stop right there. So that's the idea I have for continuing the Cthulhu series. I don't know when that'll be up, but it'll be up when I've got it done. FTL, Faster Than Light, was a series that I wanted to do focused on modding and everything to do with the modding scene in FTL. This, I realized, was a mistake, because the core of FTL remains very difficult to commentate over. And because of that, my videos start sounding really dull. And the longer they go on, the worse they get. I think I had a 3-parter series on here that even now I go, that wasn't really that good. And as such, I've decided to cancel the FTL series until further notice. I doubt I'll ever do videos on it again, and it will probably just stay an incomplete series. I made a mistake in my assumptions with that game and what I could do with it, and of course it's the most successful series I've had thus far, and I'm canceling it. Yay. What can you do? The Portal 2 series I've been doing with Gareth, I am planning on continuing to do, because I think we both find it enjoyable, and I think that filters through. Towards the end, I think I started sounding either bored or tired or something, I'm not sure, and I'm hoping my energy is back now. I mean, I would hope so by now. So we will continue pushing that forward and getting it up again. I've changed the name to the Workshop Adventures rather than just having our names. I think that's a smarter move on our part, and I want to continue making those videos. I think it's a lot of fun between me and Gareth. We get quite a kick out of it. I don't know how long that will go on for. It will go until we decide I think we've done enough. And we will continue doing more puzzles from the workshop and continue just having fun with that one. I haven't quite set up a time to record with Gareth, but maybe in the next week or two, we'll see. So continue expecting more Portal 2. Finally, Shattered Haven. Shattered Haven's been a very difficult series. It's been difficult to record. It's been difficult for me to kind of find my pace in the game and find my voice in the game, and it's a challenging game on top of it all, with some really weird and quirky mechanics that makes it hard to let's play. I'm planning on finishing it though. At this point, I feel like 7 videos in, there isn't anything that stands out to me that is really troublesome. I'm going to skip past most of the bonus levels and any really challenging optional stuff and just focus on the main story content. I'm going to work on my voices, which have varied all over the place. It's been kind of insane. If you listen to the first one, the 7th one, my voices don't even sound remotely the same. So expect more Shattered Haven, and I want to finish that series out. As for new series or what the future of the channel holds, I can't really say at this moment because I don't know, but I want to go with weekly videos and just get the channel up and running again, because I still enjoy doing this and I missed it for the past couple months that I've been away. just as much as I miss my blog, which I've basically been away from for how many months? 4 months. So I'm glad to be back, and I hope you guys are at least somewhat excited to see me back as well. So there you go. I hope that kind of clears things up for you guys, and if you have any questions that you'd like to ask me, or even requests, I don't technically take requests right now, but if you have any games you'd like to point me in the direction of, I'd sure like to hear it. I certainly keep my pulse on, or keep my thumb on the pulse of the gaming area, but I'm introduced to new games all the time that I've never even heard of, and I really appreciate that. As I mentioned before, visit my blog post, which is linked down in the comment section down below. And if you have anything else that you'd like to add, please let me know. And just a note, I am on Google+, and so is the Paladin Without a Crusade channel. You can find that as a Google+ page. And you can, of course, follow me at WordPress and Twitter and all that good stuff. And I just want to thank, on here personally, Moonshine Fox for being a great friend. He's going through a rough patch right now, and he was the one who inspired me to do this channel and to continue pushing ahead. He's where I got a lot of my ideas from. As far as the intro is concerned, it's kind of based off his own intro, but with my own twist, of course. And he's just been a good friend, and I hope he gets better. You can find him at Moonshine Fox Plays on YouTube, as well as Google+. Also want to thank you, KingIsaacLinksr, for doing the Portal 2 series, and we'll be back with that. And I want to thank the rest of my friends. I also want to thank you guys for watching this video. So, until next time, I've been KingIsaacLinksr, updating you guys, and I will see you later.